Hey YouTube, MJ here with another video review, and this time we're going to continue on looking at TFC's Uranos project, or also known as Superion. This time we're going to be looking at the main torso and the biggest piece, and that's the Blackbird, in addition to his little mini companion and breastmaster, Phantom Ray. So, we'll start off with the little guy, just because he's probably the most controversial part of the entire set. And as you can see in vehicle mode, he's just a little stealth bomber. Small, simple, not a whole lot of detail, but we'll get him transformed quick. Pop out the wings, separate the nose on the front, bring it down and separate out. Rotate around, and they're just on ball joints. Flip out the feet, flip forward the torso section, and push it back a little ways. Rotate the wings, separate that, bring around. Same thing on the other side, flip that down. Flip this back to reveal the little gun. And there you have Phantom Ray in robot mode. I know a lot of people are really against this guy, and actually, as part of Uranos Superion, I don't exactly agree with him, but he's there. As just a standalone little extra bot, he's kind of fun. Posability-wise, ball jointed knees, bend at the feet because of transformation, ball jointed hips. He's got an abdominal crunch for transformation and a few other things. Lock that back into place. Head is on a ball joint, well, plugs in at a ball joint, but can rotate. Oh, and actually I forgot to rotate the face around. And rotation at the shoulder, bend just outside the shoulder, forward and back at the shoulder, bend at the elbow. He doesn't have he's got hands sculpted inside, but he doesn't have a traditional hand, which I can live with. His scale-wise, he's about what used to be a scout-size figure. I don't have another scout near me, so. But he's fun, different, and just an extra little tidbit for part of the price increased in cost for this guy. As you can see in vehicle mode, he's very back-heavy. He's a giant jet. Actually, he's just about, in vehicle mode, just about Masterpiece Seeker size, which is actually fairly impressive. And when you think about the fact that he's between $120 and $130 retail, it's probably worthwhile. Now, he did have the most QC issues of any of the TFC bots I've gotten so far. Main one, there's a peg here that you can see that's supposed to plug in here. The hole is not big enough to fit the peg, so I'm going to have to shave that down. As well as one of the wings has some flash issues. Not huge issues, but just little things. Colors, as you can see, a lot of yellow, a lot of white, a little bit of gray and black, and then basically a giant robot on the other side. I will say, compared to the official release of a Silverbolt, yes, he's basically a jet stuck on top of a robot, but he's a lot more intricate and fun than the actual Hasbro one. So we'll go through and get him transformed. First thing you're going to do, pop up the nose cone. Instructions say you can leave it on, but just extend it out and rotate it out a little bit, pull it off. That's going to become his gun as well as the gun used for Superion. And then just fold that back and get it out of the way. Next thing you do, come around, peg. There's a little, or a fairly big peg that pegs the thruster into the leg. You're going to pull those forward and unpeg that whole system. There are a lot of panels on this guy, and a lot of the panels are very weak with how they're connected, and I don't really like that. So my honest suggestion is just to pull off the thrusters, otherwise you're going to risk popping off a lot more than you're going to want to. In particular, these are fine because they're use a peg, and just fold those back. The ones on the bottom, however, are just grooved in there, so they're very loose. But fold that all together, and then connect those, and that's going to form his back. Now you have him in, as you can see, starting to take shape of a robot. Pull, oh, never mind. So, pull down the legs just a little bit, which gives you a little more freedom for when having to do this. And that's going to be rotating the entire waist section around. And it's a very nice tight ratchet, probably because it's going to be the torso in combined mode. And then just straighten out and unfurl the legs. Rotate those around so that way you have a solid knee instead of that. Then there's another rotation there. That'll bring the leg part forward. Do it on the other side. Just extend and accordion out that entire section. Rotate so you have solid. Rotate again so you can see the little nub. Rotate around what are going to be the knee covers, and then pull out and bring up into place. And it'll lock in. Same thing on the other side, and it'll lock in. And rotate around the feet. I do like that TFC did keep a kind of a natural flow with all of their pieces to this set. They all pretty much, the leg-wise, go in a very similar fashion, so they all feel like they are part of the same entity. I realize they are, but it's more of a natural flow. Then come up to the top, take care of the arms, unpeg them from each other, rotate down, spin around, bring forward, pull up, and flip out the hand. Same thing on the other side, down, around, oh. Bring forward, flip out the hand, and then actually rotate those around so that way the arms are bending in the right direction, and then rotate the hands into the proper place. Flip out the side pins, and at this point, and plug the thrusters back in. Oh, one more thing. On the little side, and going from robot to vehicle mode, these are pane, but there's a little fins here that fill in the space next to it. It makes it so they can fold up farther, but also leaves the open space. I'm not a huge fan of them. Like I said, they're a real pain when you're going from jet to vehicle. And then for the transformation of the gun, rotate up those, separate them, bring it forward, Notch the machine guns in. Flip out the handle. And just plug it in. And now he's got his BFG. As you can see, there's a lot more red and yellow in this mode. It really somewhat separates the color a little better. Move the gun aside. Articulation on him, he's got a very wide range of motion on the ball jointed head. Up and down at the shoulder, as well as rotation at the shoulder. Full 360, but the thrusters kind of get in the way. Out, just below the shoulder, bicep swivel. 90 degrees at the shoulder, rotation at the wrist. As I showed in transformation, he's got a waist joint. Pretty tight, nice tight ratchets going outward and forward and back. Forward, you do have to move the skirts on the side. I really don't like that the skirts are just pretty much free floating there. It's just kind of just a bother to me for some reason. Thigh rotation, bend at the knee. And if you want, technically a double joint because of transformation. And combined mode. And then you have that little bit of rotation at the toe. All in all, I gotta say he's a fairly nice looking figure. There are definitely a few little nitpicks. But just for a quick size comparison. There he is with the Masterpiece Seeker mold. So a lot of people are wondering, he's retailing for about $120. US release of this mold retails for about $70 or $80. Takara issue of this mold is $160. So you figure you're getting $120, you're getting just about Masterpiece size, and he comes with the little dude. So he is probably a more worthwhile mold. Price point wise than some of the other releases. There are some subtle weird things, like you're going to see the arm moved down, but the peg for the combined mode didn't. There was that flashing issue, which I guess I didn't really show. There. Easy enough to just clip off. That peg hole that needs to be slightly widened. And just a few other subtle annoyances. I would say still pick him up. Especially if you're in for Uranos, I would definitely pick him up. If you just like big jets, he's pretty fun. Combined mode is going to be a huge factor here. Which like I said, I'm not really going to get into combined mode too much in most of my individual bot reviews. I will be doing the first slight showcase of combined mode shortly. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you soon.